Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Eclectic Nerd Podcast. There's glare on my glasses. God damn it. Um, I'm. Let's see. That does not make it better. Glare is not coming from the TV, it's coming from outside. Okay. Sorry, tried to fix the glare. Did not work. My name is Raylene, aka Kamana Knits on Ravelry. You can find show notes for this episode, hopefully, at theeclecticknitter.com. Show is uploaded to YouTube, to the blog, and to iTunes. And there's a Ravelry group. Yeah, I'm sick. So, if there's any coughing, there might be coughing. There might be drinking Pepsi, it's cherry Pepsi. It'll help, right? Totally will. I know it's not water, but I'm recording like 2 days early. I don't have show notes done up. It's 9:20 in the evening. So, yeah, my parents were supposed to come out next weekend. Turns out they couldn't get a campsite where they wanted to in Alberta, so they're out. They arrived today. I found out yesterday. So, I'm recording when I can. I started getting sick on Tuesday after going to see my esthetician to get my nails done. And I went to her house, and she's got a 1-year-old kid, and he goes to daycare, and she works part-time at a daycare. And the next day my throat was sore, and I'm like, crap. All right. So, it has been about 2 weeks. You may hear the dishwasher. You may hear the air conditioner. You may hear people messaging me on the computer. I'm sorry. But I have stuff to show. One item, the first finished object has already gone to my mom, actually. I brought it to her at supper. But they look like this. I finished a pair and a second pair, I swear, because these don't have heels. I finished a second pair of this. This is Tokyo Underground by Query Fiber Arts. And I bought this when she was still doing her self-striping in 150 gram skeins. So I had enough to do 2 pairs. This one doesn't have heels yet, obviously. The pair that I gave, this is also a 72 stitch sock on a 0. I'm trying something out with my 64 stitch socks. I've gone up to a US size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter, I think. Especially for some of the thinner yarn bases, I find that when I do them on 0s at 64 stitches, it's not quite enough, and then 72 stitches is too big, and so I just decided to go up a needle size. So I finished a pair of these for my mom. She has them. They're nice. The second finished object I have is another pair of socks, which I don't even think you've seen. Scrumptious Pearl is a self-striping dyer out of Quebec. And she's now moving to Toronto. And so she's doing a knit along with her socks, and I'm in her sock club. And I also have a couple other skeins. So I decided to join in. And this was the March club colorway called Luck of the Irish. It's Afterthought heels, true Afterthought heels. I cast these on June 1st because that's when the knit along started. And I finished them and got heels in them Wednesday, which was like the 7th, the 6th or 7th, I think I did the heels. I made no efforts to match the heels, or even really match. So the first one, this was the first one I knit, and I was doing Afterthought heels, so I just knit a giant 2. I actually messed up my toe. So my toe wasn't long enough. So it ended just as this dark green. Like I started with the light green. You can see there. This is an 80/20 base, by the way. It's really nice. And then I ended on a dark green because I messed up my toe. I do Stephanie Pearl Yarn Harlot's more rounded toe, so I do a decrease round, then I knit 5 rounds straight, then I do a decrease round and I knit 4 rounds straight, decrease round, 3 rounds straight, etc. until you're just doing decrease round after decrease round. Well, I skipped the knit 4 rounds. I did a knit 5 rounds, then I did knit 3 rounds, then 2 rounds. So my toe is shorter, which means I ended right where I needed to start the next one. And I'm like, oh, it just worked out that way. Well, it turns out I messed up my toe. So even though I did this one the exact same, you can see that I've got some of the light green here. So all that's happened is, because I could put my heel in afterwards, the foot still fits fine, but they won't have the same length of cuff. One's going to have a slightly longer cuff because of where I had to place the heel on the one that has the shorter toe in order for them to still fit. Nobody's going to notice. I don't really care. I just had to explain it all to you, though, because that's what we as knitters do to each other, right? But even once they're on my feet, nobody's going to notice. I really like this base. I really like her stripes. So yeah, I have quite a bit of her yarn, and it's not going to be the last pair I knit with it, definitely. Then okay, that's it for finished objects. I do have a hoe. If I could organize myself here, that would be awesome, hey? I have a hoe. I cast this on Sunday, June 4th. I finished the first sock Sunday, June 4th. This is the Martian Rainbow colorway from Mustache in her perfect self-striping sock base. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel pulling from the other end of the ball. These are must-match skeins, so you get 2 little skeins that match. So I just pulled from the outside to do the heels, because I've had like 3 pairs of socks sitting here that need heels for a while. And I threw a little 2-stitch cable on the one side, and these just made me super happy. So I started it one day and I finished it the same day. They look really skinny, but the heel or this again, I'm doing the ribbing on zeros and I'm doing the actual sock on US size ones. So there you can see the cable stretches out quite a bit. And so I have the second sock on the needles. I am past the heel. And I'm that far on the foot. That far on the foot. That is how much further I have to go. So I'm really liking these. I'm wanting to get them done because I have another skein of self-striping that's been sitting out here begging to be knit. Other than that, I have my row cardigan, which apparently I'm partly sitting on. Sorry. Don't come off the needles. Don't come off the needles. I'm still working on the ribbing. So, this is my giant row cardigan. I have about 4 inches of ribbing done. I think I need to knit 8 inches of 2x2 rib that I then fold over. And then I still have a whole another sleeve to do. And there's like 500 stitches on the needles right now. And that makes me very sad. So it's taken a while. And I knew it would. I can't wait for this to be done. It's been like almost 3 years. I need to get it done by August long. That's my goal. So there's that. I have worked on that. I also cast on my Camp Loopy Project 1. I am using Into the World Dresden Kettle Dyed DK in the Moriarty colorway. And I have 3 skeins of this. And I was actually in the club. I was actually in the club recently too, but I discontinued it, and I'll maybe talk about that later. When this was a club colorway and her hand painted. So I'm doing a Brickless by Martina Bem, and I do have a lot of Miss Babs, but this is how far I am. So I've done 1 repeat of the 3 sections and started the second. And the original pattern calls for, Yowza is kind of a light worsted, and it calls for a size 6, a US size 6, 4.0 millimeter. I actually went up a needle size when I was working in this garter stitch section, so I am doing this on a US size 7. And I'm liking the fabric better. And I have 3 skeins of it, so yeah, that's my kind of start. I knit on this the other night when I couldn't sleep because I couldn't breathe. So, you know, that gets you a lot of knitting done. I haven't worked on my Steam Age sweater. I haven't worked on my little boxy for my niece. I have not worked on Hoey Locatelli's shawl. I'm still on clue 3 at the twisted rib section. And so, yeah. I'm not reading anything that's worth talking about. I'm sick. The next sock that I'm going to cast on is Nomadic Yarns in her Brit sock base, which is a BFL nylon. And this is the Amortentia colorway, one of her Valentine. It's still up on her website, or on her Etsy shop. So I'm going to be knitting this up next. It's in one of my Fat Squirrel Sock Plus bags, hanging out. I have a lot more acquisitions than this. You can take a look at my stash page to see what I've added recently, and I have more stuff to go up, but these are 2 that I figured I would show. If you're part of the Query 3-month self-striping club, and you haven't gotten your package and do not want to be spoiled, look away because I'm going to show it. This is the Cupcake colorway. I have no idea how many stripes it is. I have no idea about anything, but it's blue, and it's blues and it's browns, and it's like this minty blue, and I love it. And I want to knit with it. She also released some more Gilmore Girls colorways on her shop, if any of you are into that. And then I also recently placed an order with a Canadian yarn company. She does really pretty speckles. It's called Lichen and Lace. They're out of Sackville, New Brunswick. So I ordered an 80/20 sock. This isn't a 2-ply. It's like a sport weight. It's 365 yards, but it's her 80/20 sock. This is in the Pressed Flowers colorway. There you go. Lichen and Lace. And I really want to knit this up. This will be the next skein that gets wound that I will knit into socks. Into beautiful socks. Like, look at that. It's going to be gorgeous. And I'm super excited about it. And it feels like a really nice base. I'm really glad it's an 80/20 and it's not a 2-ply. I'm actually not a big fan of 2-plies. But I don't like I'm picky. I don't really like the base that pretty much every sock dyer has, the 75/25, where there's 463 some odd yards in a skein. I find it too thin. I like chunkier bases. The Nomadic Yarns Brit sock is really nice. It is a 2-ply though. I really like Lollipop's Beefcake base, which I know is a sport. Her gripes are quintessential. She renamed it. Also isn't too bad. It's again a 2-ply. Scrumptious Pearl, her Stripe Me Up base, is a 2-ply. Which is fine. But I don't really like 2-plies. I'm fussy. So this one's really nice. I really like this. It is listed as a sock. See here, you can see 80-20 sock. But it's got 365 yards, 200 grams, which makes me think sport. And then I bought 2 skeins of her single ply, one in orchid and one in wildflowers, I think, but I didn't bring those out. So I just figured I'd show off 2 of the skeins that I've purchased recently. We had a giveaway for the quill hard copy of the quill pattern by Jared Flood. I know hard copies are kind of, I don't use hard copies, but they're very pretty hard copies. So we had 1 entry, and that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. I don't know how to lock the thread though. Here, maybe if I click that, there we go. Haha. We had 1 entry, which is good. Lisa 9111. 9111. Okay. She won this beautiful pattern. She's thinking, she says, I would probably knit the larger multicolored version of it. Possible contenders are Holtz Garn or Plucky Feet, or possibly a selection from my stash. I fully support using stash. My stash has grown exponentially recently, and I need to knit faster. Basically, is what needs to happen. I need to knit faster, or stop buying, but it's easier to knit faster than it is to stop buying. So if you can send me your address, I will ship this out to you. And yeah, thank you so much. All right. My nose is running, and I need to blow it. And my dog is sleeping. And it's getting dark. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna go. I will talk to you guys in 2 weeks or so. Bye. Enjoy.